And I'm recording.
Awesome. So, Rachel, you ready to talk about...
We're doing this.
The spookiest... We're doing this. Actually, maybe I should do the other thing. Hello, everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rachel Shutting Up. This is the podcast where I tell my oldest friend Rachel to shut up just over and over again. And it's entertaining for everyone. For the whole family.
Oh my god. I guess it could be.
Might be.
I might listen to it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wayward Somethings podcast. The podcast where me and my friend Rachel talk about the television show Supernatural.
Yes.
We are on episode 5 this week of Supernatural season 1. And Rachel...
This is the one that made me not want to watch Supernatural.
Like, it turned you off of the show for a while?
I saw a glimpse of this episode and I decided the show was way too scary for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it, we're both such chickens. The fact that we love this show is very strange. Because I'm a coward. I don't watch any kind of horror stuff.
I don't either. But I'm super into this show, which is a horror show.
Yeah.
But it's not... we've been rating the episodes, and so far we haven't encountered one that's really super, super scary, right?
No, and...
I found the Wendigo one kind of scary, but, other than that, I've been good so far. You haven't found any of them scary so far.
Nope. Not really.
But I might give this next one a higher rating since, like I said, it did turn me off the show for a while. So.
Yeah. Well, we will...
I guess we'll watch it now and we'll find out.
Well, you're watching it now because you didn't do your homework. I've already watched it. So I'll just talk to you while you're watching it. Yeah. So when I was listening back to our last 4 episodes of this podcast, especially the last one where we spend the majority of the time just talking about flights that we've taken.
You should have kept that content.
I think I did keep most of it in there. And if people listen beyond episode 4, what the hell are you doing there? But that to me is such a sign that really that's such a boring episode. Episode 4 is so bad. Because we had nothing to talk about other than just planes.
Yeah.
But this is a good episode.
But that one, you get the entertainment value of seeing Dean scared on the plane.
Yeah.
And seeing his hair all messed up for maybe the only time ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. His hair does stay pretty still despite all of the fights that he gets into.
Except for on that plane. Where the wind came and blew it out of nowhere. I still don't know where the wind was from. Anyway, we already talked about that.
Now we're talking about episode 5, Bloody Mary. Scary, scary episode.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Are you starting? If you start...
Yep.
You open up on some little girls having a sleepover.
Yep.
Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Not have sleepovers. Nobody...
I had sleepovers. I had friends. We had sleepovers, and yes, we did do Bloody Mary, and, this one's very relatable.
Yeah.
Did you do Bloody Mary?
Yeah, and I think someone did it while I was at a sleepover, and I was really freaked out.
And when we did it, we said you had to spin around while you said it.
Yeah, we always spin around.
Like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, exactly like Wonder Woman. Yeah, we always...
Yeah, like Wonder Woman. And these girls, they just say it.
Yeah, you have to have the lights out and you have to spin around. They did part of it.
Mm-hmm. You have to have the lights out and spin around and say it and in the bathroom.
Yeah. always in the bathroom.
In the bathroom mirror. Yeah, in front of the mirror.
It's weird that, like, the bathroom, when you're a kid, is kind of a scarier place than it ever really should be. Like...
It's true.
Getting up to go pee, like, in the middle of the night, I was often, like, really frightened of doing that.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I just saw the Bloody Mary appear in the mirror, and it was really scary.
Yeah, she's creepy looking. They did a good job. I feel like her face being all in shadow and covered in hair. It's sort of, I guess,
it's so scary.
Derivative of, like, The Ring, kind of.
Oh, it kind of is. I remember when that was a thing. I never watched it.
Oh, hell no.
Alright,
Hell no.
I'm a coward. And I don't do stuff like that. But...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so the older sister has just come home, and she looks familiar for some reason.
I thought so, too. She does look really familiar. We could, like, Google and see, like, who she is, but she looks...
Maybe she was in some movie we watched around that time.
Maybe. She kind of looks like the best friend in Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You used to watch that movie, all the time.
That movie was the thing, man.
I
mean, it's still pretty entertaining today.
It's so good. I want to watch it now. Let's forget about Supernatural. Let's be a Win a Date with Tad Hamilton podcast.
Oh, I mean, we could do that too.
Just every week we rewatch Win a Date with Tad Hamilton.
No, this would be like a one-time deal.
Okay. I like my idea better, but fine.
Oh yeah, so in the episode, Sam had another nightmare about Jess.
Oh, so I noticed when he was sleeping so he wakes up in Baby, and there's no headrest in that car.
What? Oh my gosh, you're right.
And his head is, like, fully back, so he would have woken up with, like, a neck ache, right? That would have hurt.
As much as they sleep in that car, I mean, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of a hazard to not have,
Kind of is.
Okay, it wasn't the girl from Win a Date with Tad Hamilton. I don't know who this woman is, but it's not her. That's Jennifer Goodwin. And
oh, she's Snow White.
Oh.
It's Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Snow White from Once Upon a Time.
But who is the girl, the older sister in this?
Oh, so she's not Jennifer Goodwin, because I kind of thought she looked a little bit like Jennifer.
No, that's who I thought it was, but it's not. It's somebody else who looks like Jennifer Goodwin.
Well, I don't know. Jennifer's stunt double.
Do you actually say it differently? Do you say it Jennifer? Jean?
I mean, that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, but people don't always say their names the way that they're spelled.
I haven't heard someone say her name, so I don't know. But since it was spelled like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you say your middle name how it's spelled, not how,
That is true.
Others may argue it should be said.
People have argued with me that my middle name should be pronounced differently. Let's not reveal my middle name. That'll make it easier for people to track me down and complain about this show.
It's kind of like how that guy at work tried to tell me I'm not the height I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure I know how tall I am.
That annoyed me so much. This girl told me that I was saying my middle name wrong. Anyway.
You're like, I don't, it's your middle name. I think how you say it is how it's said.
Yeah, I can say it however I want. Anyway, they are going to Toledo, Ohio, because so the little girls summoned you-know-who in the mirror, and the Bloody Mary went and killed the father.
Yep. First she appeared in all the mirrors in the house.
Yes.
Not just the bathroom mirror.
No, she sort of stalks him through the mirrors.
Which is super creepy.
Which is creepy. And then she finally gets him in his bathroom mirror, and like his eyes dissolve into blood. You don't see that, thankfully, but you do see like a massive amount of blood on the floor when the girl who looks like the best friend in Win a Date with Tad Hamilton comes home to find her dad dead. And then Sam and Dean are on the case to see if something supernatural is going on. Because now they're fully just committed to this saving people, hunting things.
That's right, not finding Dad.
Well, they're on the...
I mean, that's kind of a side job.
Yeah, I think that they think that if they just keep doing what their dad wants them to do, that eventually he'll come around.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know. Well, as I have said multiple times, John Winchester is a terrible father.
Yep. He's not great.
Yep. So they, then what happens? So the guy is dead. They go to,
they're at the funeral. They're at the wake.
Oh yeah, they show up at the guy's house, and the wake is happening, and they're not dressed for a wake at all. Even though they bought suits in the last episode, they could have put those on.
They sure could have.
And they kind of act like they didn't know they were going to the wake. But I imagine, like, they got the address somehow, and they probably got it from, like, the newspaper announcement. And the newspaper announcement would say, like, this is when the wake is going to be. Sometimes it's like that.
Ooh.
But...
Well, does it just, like, announce it to everyone?
It's, well, like, I don't know if it's at your house, probably not, but sometimes, like, funeral announcements will, or in the newspaper, the obituary will say, like, the memorial's going to be at such and such church or whatever.
Well, they didn't know.
Well, they didn't know. They show up at the wake. They go and...
Which is, probably good, because then, people are showing up, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have to lie about being some weirdos, except they do.
That's what they do.
Like, oh, yeah, we knew your dad.
Yeah, they pretend that they had worked with him, and they interview the daughters. There's 2 daughters. The young one, who summoned Bloody Mary, and the older one. And, and the little girl tells them exactly, they get the information pretty easily. She just immediately is like, it was my fault. I did this. I summoned her. And so, side note, further in the episode, you find out that, like, Bloody Mary's going after people who have, like, a guilty conscience. So that little girl would be open game for her.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, fortunately, it's not that kind of show where kids are not normally in danger.
That's true.
They go to the library then. Sam and Dean are on the case trying to find who this Mary might be, because they assume that Mary is just someone who died and now has become a vengeful spirit.
They're not at the library yet.
No, what's happening now?
Well, they're still in the house for the wake, talking to that girl. They've been found out snooping through the house,
Yeah.
And, I guess... Oh, no, yeah, okay. I was wrong. They do go... Is that the library? It looks weird for a library. Maybe it's a library.
Is it a library?
Yeah, it's a library.
So they're looking for, like, any woman named Mary who died ever in front of a mirror.
Oh, it's funny, because the computers are all out of order, so I guess they have to, like, actually read stuff.
It really feels like an impossible task for them to find.
I mean, I might have given up at that point.
Yeah. And then there's one, so the older daughter of the guy that died, she has 2 friends, and one of the friends is sort of suspicious of Sam and Dean. Sam and Dean, like, tell her, we think something's weird's going on, and she, I guess, is a little bit more open to the idea that something weird is going on, because then she's talking to her friend, the other friend of the Win a Date with Tad Hamilton friend, and she's, like, a little concerned that maybe it is actually, like, Bloody Mary, I guess.
Yes.
And so the other...
She is worried.
Yeah, so that girl is Charlie, the girl that had talked to Sam and Dean. And then the other girl is Jill or something. Jill's the other friend. And Jill is talking to Charlie on the phone and is like, you're being ridiculous. I'm going to go into my bathroom mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 times. And nothing's going to happen to me.
She does.
And she does.
And something does happen.
And something does happen. She is looking, again, she has like so many mirrors in her room. And Bloody Mary's like from mirror to mirror. And then...
And in the TV.
And in the TV. Anything with a reflection. And eventually she looks at herself in the mirror and her reflection is looking back at her, but it's not like, it's creepy. It's a possessed reflection.
Her eyes are bleeding in the reflection.
Yeah, her eyes are bleeding. But the reflection has like a different facial expression, and the reflection starts like telling her that she was responsible for the boy. You killed the boy or something like that.
Yes.
Yes. So.
And then it cuts to Sam, who's having another nightmare. That's what happens next. He has another nightmare for the second time in this episode.
Yeah. Do those nightmares mean something? Is something going on with Sam?
What?
Something might be going on with Sammy.
Oh my gosh.
I actually forgot that they bring that in this early. For some reason, I thought that was like not until that next season at all that they talked about the dreams. But
yeah, they introduced them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do they go to the morgue first, or they go to the girl Jill's house first?
So they actually for the girl, I know they went to the morgue earlier in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
For the guy.
They go to before Jill dies.
I don't think they go back to the morgue for the girl.
No, but we didn't talk about they go to the morgue and they bribe that guy with Dean's poker winnings.
Yeah, that dude was like super professional.
Yeah, super professional. I'll let you...
It was super hard to get him to flip.
Well, they give him like $100. I'd take $100.
I mean, you know. Yeah.
But the guy's eyes are like fully melted. The first guy that died. And then Jill dies. And then Charlie is pretty fully convinced now that something is actually going on. And she, I guess, contacts Sam and Dean and helps them sneak into Jill's room so they can have like a poke around.
And then when they're looking around the room, they find that message on the back of the mirror.
Yeah, on the back of the mirror is a handprint and the name of a child, or just a name. But it's super weird to me that this little 8-year-old boy was named Gary. That's not a name that an 8-year-old boy should have. But
yes, it is.
This little boy named Gary, Jill did a hit and run and killed him several years ago. So that was the little boy that her reflection was accusing her of murdering.
That's right. And also, we find out, when they go to the house after that girl dies, they talk to the older sister again, and they find out that her mom is dead, overdosed on sleeping pills.
Right.
So I guess the implication is that maybe her dad actually had something to do with that.
He might have had something to do with it, or he might just feel guilty about it, because it seems like the ghost just gets you if you're feeling guilty.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be your fault. Like, maybe he felt like he should have been there for her more, even if he was. Maybe he felt like he could have done more. I don't know.
Yeah, he might have felt responsible, or he might have killed her. Who knows? But those two girls now, the two girls from the beginning of the episode, they're orphans, and they're still living in that house.
Oh, yeah, what's that about? Shouldn't CPS have come by now?
I don't know. It depends, I guess, on how old that girl is. Because, I mean, in real life, she's probably, 30. But in the show, I'm assuming she's supposed to be, 17 or 18.
I guess if she's 18, it could fly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That'd be awful, to be 18 and then suddenly be responsible for your little sister.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be terrible. I mean, I don't have a little sister.
That would be...
But you have a little sister. How terrible would it be?
I mean, when I was 18, I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
I was not that responsible.
So then Dean somehow finds a woman named Mary who they just like expand the search to the whole country, I guess, or the whole world. But really, in this show, the world is just the United States. Nothing ever happens outside of the United States. Even when the apocalypse,
Except
it's all in the United States.
Except for the one episode when they find Crowley's bones.
Yes, spoiler alert for like 7 seasons from now.
Sorry, I'd like just watched that one.
Oh, well, you're actually burning through your rewatch. So, did I tell you, like, I always skip this one when I rewatch?
Sometimes I do.
There are certain episodes that I always skip, and this is
Sketch. Yeah, this one, I haven't actually seen it all that many times, because it is creepy as all get out. I think, actually, I didn't watch it until I'd already seen the show a couple times already. And then I finally decided on my next watch through to give it a try.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was when I first saw it. There are definitely episodes that, like, I fully am not looking forward to us watching again, because there are episodes that I find, like, genuinely really scary. Anything with zombies or whatever. I don't like those. But so Dean finds out that this woman named Mary was killed in front of a mirror in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So then they go to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And they drive there, like, super fast.
Yeah, so I did look it up. I looked it up on Google Maps. Between Toledo and Fort Wayne, that's like a 2-hour drive. So that's...
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I mean, they do just, like... Eventually in the show, they stop caring about anything being close to anything. Like, 1 minute they're in Seattle, the next minute they're in New Orleans. It's fine.
Yep. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So they're talking to the investigator who looked into the death of this woman, Mary, and he's pretty helpful. He, like, gives them all the information because the case really still bothers him. And they're pretending to be reporters right now, which is slightly more believable than cops. And the guy says that he suspects that she was murdered by her married lover because she was going to tell his wife about their affair. But the guy that kills her, he was a surgeon, and he kills her by cutting out her eyes, which is just such an extra way to kill someone.
I don't know why you would even.
That's excessive, especially if you're not like a psycho killer, Cascasque, but you're just a dude trying to kill your mistress. Like, why do it that way? It's weird.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if you're killing someone to keep them from telling someone something, you usually don't get all weird with it, right? Like, you kill them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
It seems like it would be like a crime of passion, but he got real weird with it.
Yeah, he got super weird with it, like serial killer weird.
Yeah.
But also when they're talking to this dude, they see, he shows them some old pictures of the crime scene, and there's a mirror.
Yep.
There's a mirror, and they're like, oh.
Yep.
Oh, man, maybe that's the mirror.
But.
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, so first she, like, put a bloody handprint on the mirror and, like, started writing out his name, her murderer's name, but died before she could finish it. And so, like, that handprint and the writing is, like, similar to what they found on the back of both Shoemaker, the guy, and the first guy who dies, and Jill. They both have that on their mirrors. But there's a hitch. Mary was cremated. So, once again, we don't get to see them dig up and burn any bones this week.
Man, have they burned any bones yet in the show?
No, not yet. We're not there.
No, they haven't.
No.
Wow.
No.
I mean, that's such a classic supernatural thing to do, and they haven't even done it yet?
Yeah.
This show would have been airing for a full month by now.
Yeah, and without seeing them dig up any bones.
Man.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to the first time I get to see them dig up bones. Aren't you? I mean, it never really helps when they dig up and salt and burn the bones, because they're usually, like, wrong about which person it is.
I know, right? So, the next one is called Skin. I don't think we're gonna see them burn bones then either.
No, I'm pretty sure Skin is the shapeshifter one, right?
Yeah, the first time they encounter a shapeshifter.
Yeah, that one's good.
They, like, keep finding shapeshifters.
Yeah.
It might be the most common thing they find in the show besides ghosts and demons.
Yeah, I wonder if we could, like, do a count of all the different monsters that they face and what kinds. Probably ghosts are like the most common, I would say. And then
I would say probably demons.
you think so? Well,
Because after a certain season, there's a demon in every single episode.
yeah, but it's like the same demons, so I wouldn't count, like, if it's just Meg or Crowley over and over again.
Oh, you're not going to count, like, Crowley or Meg? Okay, well, or Ruby. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm not counting, like, main characters. I'm talking, like, Monster of the Week characters.
Then, yeah, it probably would be a ghost.
Which is fairly common, not as common. And then if you count, like, gods as, like, a whole category, just, like, all gods.
Oh, yeah, the gods,
Yep. Anyway, we can work on that spreadsheet later. So Charlie and whatever her friend's name is, Shoemaker, is in the bathroom trying to convince her friend that, like, this is bad. There's genuinely Bloody Mary going around. You don't say it or whatever. And because her friend is, like, mad at her. She's all pissed because you brought a bunch of weirdos to my house to talk about my dead mom. So maybe, like, don't do that in future. I would be mad.
Yep. I mean, you know, it would be weird.
Yeah. So Charlie's friend then says Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times, just to sort of screw with Charlie. She doesn't have the lights off, so that's not. I guess Jill didn't either, so that's not a thing that you have to do. You really just have to say it in front of a mirror.
Just have to say it 3 times. Oh, so now Bloody Mary is stalking Charlie.
Yep.
Alright. She's at school, and Bloody Mary is just showing up, man.
Yeah, so she looks in, like, her little compact mirror. She sees Bloody Mary behind her. And then she looks in, like, whatever. They have, like, a 2-way mirror or something in their classroom. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess that might be what that is. I think maybe it's just a reflection, but
yeah,
maybe the room behind it was really dark. Ooh, she even sees her in her teacher's glasses.
Yeah, she throws, like, a chair through the window, and then he comes up to her. Their teacher comes to, like, calm her down. She sees her in the glasses. I don't know how she gets to, because the next thing you see, she's, like, running down the hall, and Bloody Mary's, like, in all the windows, but the next time you see her, she's in Sam and Dean's hotel room. How did she get there? Like, did she drive there without looking in her rearview mirrors?
Did she call them and they told her where to meet them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did they pick her up?
Maybe they picked her up. Yeah. That makes sense.
Maybe she called them on her razor phone.
Yeah.
Because that was popular at the time.
I'm sure she called them on her razor phone. And
someone in this show had a razor that was exactly like the one I had. It was that magenta.
Whoa.
Fuchsia or whatever. Oh yeah, so she's calling them on the phone. And yeah, you're right. Next thing we know, she's in their hotel room. I think maybe they picked her up.
Yeah, I think they probably picked her up.
She's like not looking anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Covering her eyes, and they're covering up anything that might have a reflection. And they just leave her there. But Charlie, unlike the majority of people that they try and help in the show, actually listens to them and like doesn't, like if it was some of the idiots they help sometime, they'd be like, don't look in a mirror, and they'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go just look in a mirror real quick.
Or like the hunter or the trail dude in the Wendigo.
Yeah, like that guy. That guy died.
Like, stay in the circle.
Nobody ever stays in the circle. But she listens to them. She doesn't look in any mirrors.
I don't know if I would stay in the circle.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would stay in the circle either. But
these two dudes I don't know come up to me and say, the ghost chasing me and I'm gonna stay in the salt circle. I'd be like, yeah.
yeah.
I want to stay in the circle so you can come up and kill me later.
Yeah. And the salt circle isn't perfect because sometimes ghosts can like blow the salt away.
Man, the salt circle, I'm serious, the hula hoop with the salt.
Yeah, it's a foolproof plan, Rachel. I fully support you. I'm saying salt in everything. Salt on the walls, salt in your clothes.
Yeah.
If you just have like a really high sodium diet, would that work?
Yeah, I mean, we have salt in our bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. How much salt is enough?
How come ghosts aren't repelled by us?
I don't know. And we have iron in our blood, so we should be fully protected.
So wide open.
So they are, anyway, they're gonna
Charlie's
go get
in
the
the
mirror.
room.
Okay. Well, they're gonna go.
No, but they're like, Charlie, what, you know.
Oh, right.
What are you feeling guilty about? And I guess, her ex-boyfriend threatened to kill himself, and she didn't really take it seriously. And then he killed himself.
Yeah. So, that's not her fault.
It's not really her fault.
Yeah. It's not her fault, but she blames herself, and that's all that matters.
Guilty.
Yeah.
That's all that matters for you.
Yeah, ghosts are a bit conservative. They're a bit, set in their ways.
I mean, they can make some pretty big leaps.
Yeah, they can. So they are gonna go. They've called the family of Mary inherited that mirror that they think that she's attached to, and they sold it to a store. The family sold it to a store in Toledo, and now Sam and Dean are gonna go try and break the mirror and see if that helps. But Sam.
How far away is Toledo?
They're in Toledo because they were in Fort Wayne and then they had to come back for Charlie. So they're already back in Toledo because that's where they got Charlie.
Oh, and they're driving to find the mirror, and there's a little bit more talk about Jessica.
Yeah. So because Sam doesn't think that just breaking the mirror itself will help because she can clearly like travel between mirrors. He wants to like summon her to her old mirror and then break it. And Dean's like, how are you going to summon her? You're not guilty of anything. And he's like, well, actually, I am guilty of something. And he apparently feels guilty about Jessica for reasons that he won't tell Dean.
He could have warned her about everything weird he saw in his life.
He could have been like, hey.
That would have gone over well.
I know I'm a mild-mannered Stanford pre-law student, but here's the thing. Ghosts are real. Demons are real, even though we don't really know anything about it. Vampires, though, don't worry about vampires. They're not real.
They're not real.
Yeah. Hope you still love me, Jessica. Good night. What was I saying? Sam. Sam, wants to trap the chick in the mirror, and he has a secret that he's not telling Dean. And so they go to this, what looks like just a mirror store. It's a store full of mirrors. And
yeah, you're right.
And just as they find the mirror and Sam summons Bloody Mary, the cops show up, and Dean has to go deal with that. Sam could have went to deal with that instead.
Yeah, I guess he didn't have to do this at the same time. Because, I mean, they got Charlie pretty well secured, right?
Yeah.
So they've made this harder than it needed to be.
So they could have waited. They didn't have to go. I don't know. Anyway, Dean goes out to talk to the cops, and he's like, I'm the son of the guy who owns the store. And they're like, no, you're obviously not, because the guy who owns the store is Japanese. And so he's dealing with the cops, and Sam is inside, and Bloody Mary comes for Sam. Dun, dun, dun. And what Bloody Mary reveals as Sam's reflection, accusing him, she reveals that Sam's dreams about Jessica had started before Jessica died. So he had some sort of dream premonition.
He had a premonition?
Yeah, that Yellow Eyes was coming for Jessica. He had a premonition. So Sammy's secret is that he did know that Jessica was going to die, and he also has some weird powers. So it's funny to me that Sam is in there smashing a bunch of mirrors while the cops are directly outside talking to Dean. They don't hear all of the mirrors smashing. It's a bit weird. But Sam looks like he is giving in to Bloody Mary. He's got blood pouring out of his eyes. And Dean is still out there. Yeah, but he's gonna be fine. Again, it's like the ghost can reach inside of you and grab your heart and squeeze your heart, but if you get rid of the ghost, then it's fine. Nothing, no long-term consequences for that hemorrhaging.
That's right. Totally.
Speaking of hemorrhaging, Dean decides he doesn't have time to waste with the cops, so he knocks them both unconscious, giving two old men neurological damage for doing their job. And then he runs into the back into the mirror store just in time to like destroy
terrifying.
Mary's mirror.
And then so she's coming for them. And like, what the heck are they gonna do? And Dean holds up a mirror to her, of all things.
That's just about to happen, Rachel, if you give me like 2 seconds. They are leaving. They think it's all done. Yeah, if you had done your homework. They're leaving and they think it's all done, and then she crawls out of the mirror. Very Ring-like, actually. I've never seen that movie, but I've definitely seen a trailer, and it looks like that. I wonder if it came out like around the same time as this episode. And now both of them are bleeding profusely from their eyes because she's just gonna kill them all. And Dean, kill them all. Shut up. Kill them all. Very quick thinking on the part of Dean. And it's lucky that that's one of the few mirrors that Sam didn't break. And she now looks at herself in the mirror, and now her reflection accuses her of all of the multiple murders that she has committed as a ghost. And then she melts.
And then they're watching her turn to blood, and it's just all a bunch of blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then Dean throws the broken mirror on top of the melted Mary just for good measure.
Yeah. And but that melting effect didn't look great. But the rest of this episode, effects wise, pretty good. I mean, it was low effects because Mary's like just someone in makeup and whatever.
We should also mention that, Dean was like, made a point of saying, hey man, you broke all those mirrors. Isn't that like 600 years of bad luck?
Yeah.
And that is why everything in the show goes south after this.
Yeah, everything was fine before, but now they,
except for Jessica, but whatever. That's right.
What else? But they're fine. They've been bleeding from the eyes, but they're fine. So then they go out back to their car, and they're having like a little talk in the car. Sam.
No, Charlie.
Oh yeah, Charlie's fine.
Charlie's in the car.
They drop Charlie off. Charlie's gonna be fine now. because they've destroyed Bloody Mary. See, I do think, like,
That's right.
What last episode was really missing, and what the good episodes are ones where there's, like, a normal human with them on their sort of adventure, on their Monster of the Week thing.
Yeah. I think so.
But so then Dean wants to talk to Sam about whatever Sam's secret is, and you and I have both watched this show enough to know that the boys having secrets from each other is, like, primarily what the dramatic tension is throughout all 15 seasons.
I mean, it's kind of the basis for the show.
They're always lying to each other. They're always hiding something from each other. But in this thing, Sam doesn't want to tell Dean, and he just is honestly like, I'm not ready to tell you this. I don't want to talk to you about this yet. And Dean's sort of like, pretty okay with it. It's the healthiest that they've ever been. And I, like, recognized as I was watching it, like, this is prior to them just becoming insanely codependent on each other. They have, like, a normal reaction to something like that. Like, I'm not ready to talk to you about this yet. Okay.
That's a good observation.
But later on, that's not going to be okay. It's going to be a whole lot of fighting and drama.
So much. Well, right now, they've still got the drama of looking for Dad, right?
Yep.
That's the drama.
Find Dad.
And nightmares about Jess. Oh, by the way, as they're, like, driving away, like, Sam sees a vision of Jess standing in her nightgown, which, come on, a nightgown? Yeah.
Again.
The ankle-length nightgown? Who wears that?
An ankle-length nightgown, you just, like, get twisted up in that in the night. And you'd wake up, like, tied into, like, some sort of pretzel.
So he sees a vision of her standing at the corner.
Yeah.
And, it's a moment.
Yeah, she kind of seems, like, at peace. I don't know. I don't think it's, like, a negative vision for him. I think he's, like, coming to terms with her death, figuring out how to accept the fact that she's gone. Then maybe it's not really his fault. So he gave Charlie some advice when they were parting ways about the fact that her boyfriend's death wasn't her fault. And Dean's like, well, that is good advice for you too, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good things in this episode. You're right. Probably about the healthiest they've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to it all going downhill.
Too bad they broke those mirrors. Good for us, because otherwise we wouldn't have a show.
That is true. Alright, so the next episode is Skin. And that's the bank robbery one, right?
Is it? Oh yeah, is that the one where at the beginning it shows, like, Dean?
Yeah.
Robbing a bank? No, that's later.
Are you sure? Maybe you're right. I don't know then.
Oh yeah, it does. Alright, I don't think it's the bank one,
okay,
but I think it does portray Dean, like, make it look like Dean's the bad guy.
Right.
For, like, other things. Oh yeah, Sam's old college buddy. Right.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay. So, next week is Skin. We'll talk about it next week. I haven't seen it in a long time. We should do our rating of this episode. So every week we rate our episodes from 1 being not that scary to oh my stars being what your mom used to say anytime something very scary happened on the television show. So I think that this week, I'll let you go first. This week, are we going to get our first oh my star?
Yes, this one, considering it made me not want to watch the show, and I avoided the show for a long time after watching it, and also had to take down all the mirrors after watching it.
Yeah.
I would say this is an oh my stars. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think...
If it's not, I don't know what is.
I don't think it's quite an oh my stars for me. I know that it freaked me out when I saw it. But I know, like, in comparison to things that are coming up, it's not what scares me the most. And I want to, like, I want to ration out my oh my stars. I don't want to make that.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to make oh my stars a meaningless term, you know? We want to preserve the quality of oh my stars. So I'm going to give it a 9. So it's up there, but it's not.
Okay.
Not the highest.
All right. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's still an oh my stars for me. I'm serious. I had to take down all the mirrors, and you know what? There was one night. It was dark because it was night, and I was coming out of the bathroom. There was a mirror on the wall, like opposite the bathroom, and I saw myself in the mirror, and I got so scared. I thought that was Bloody Mary.
I have this phobia of looking in the mirror and it being like my reflection, but my reflection like it is in this show, like my reflection just like staring back at me or doing something different than what I'm actually doing with my face. I have a very big like phobia of that. So I try not to look in the mirror.
Maybe you should give this an oh my stars.
Yeah, maybe.
This sounds like
you
maybe have some issues with this too. Yeah, because I mean, I was extremely scared when I saw myself in that mirror. I mean, because it was dark and I was like in shadow, and I looked like Bloody Mary, and I thought I was Bloody Mary, and I got really freaked out. So, yeah, I'm gonna say this was an oh my stars for me, because it definitely affected me after I watched the show. Like, most of these, I kind of just don't worry about it after, but this one, no. This was worry after. A lot of worry.
Yeah. Sometimes when I open up a medicine cabinet and I'm gonna close it again, because of that like trope of there's being something behind you, I look behind me while I close it. So
if you look behind you while you're doing it, it can't pop up.
No, that's my reasoning. That's my logic.
I'm down with that.
That's what you should start doing from now on. So we recorded this late at night. Are you gonna be able to sleep tonight, little Rachie?
It always helps when I see them actually kill Bloody Mary, so probably.
Just bear in mind that
I probably won't. I'm probably not gonna try to look in the mirror after the lights go out, though. Just saying.
You have said her name like so many times, and you killed all those people. Remember in the past when you killed all those people? So she's coming for you.
Oh crap. Well, you know what? I'm looking ahead, and I do see a lot of really scary ones ahead. No, I'm still gonna give this one that. Just
I think that this one definitely
freaked me out when I first watched it.
I think this
one still deserves it.
This one definitely deserves it from you. I'm still gonna keep mine at a 9, but yeah.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's the closest we've ever come in ratings before.
Yeah. Well, then no, last week we were very close because we both didn't like it.
That's right. Because it really wasn't scary.
No, it's not a scary episode at all, compared to this one, especially.
No. I mean, yeah. No, this one was legit creepy, though. Creep City. Also, lots of blood, like you said, the other day. They're all about all that blood. All the time.
Yep, they love blood.
Sure do. And now I'm doing my rewatches, and I see it like every episode. I'm like, wow, Joelle was right.
I am always
Look at all that blood. Well, that was exciting.
Yep.
And creepy.
Yep.
So, on that note, let's go to bed.
Yeah, good night.
Woo!
Alright.
Pretty much.
Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. See you next time.